amateur team trial event. We'll see that later.
Entered in this team time trial, the first of the cycling gold medals at stake. Wales then with Richard Walls, Matthew Postle and Alan Owen, and Stephen Collerby set off along this Patricia Bay highway, a pan-flat course, and we're expecting some quick times. So Wales settle down into their rhythm, and following Wales will be the team of St Vincent. All squads going off at 2-minute intervals.
4, 3, 2, 1, and start.
The defending champions New Zealand set off. The squad of Mark Rendell, Tim Pawson, Paul Leach and the skipper Brian Fowler, who carried the flag for his country in the opening ceremony yesterday. They set the time of 2:06.46, and that is the event record, and that was set in Auckland, and this will be one of the strong squads to beat. Meanwhile, ahead, Wales are settling down well now to their rhythm. Almost 5 minutes of racing under their wheels, very close together, a very well-drilled quartet. And Wales with high hopes of winning a medal here.
3, 2, 1, start.
England are the fourth squad to start. The team comprising of Matt Illingworth, Paul Jennings, Simon Lewiston and the very experienced Peter Longbottom. Good draw for England. They're chasing the defending champions, New Zealand, who are 2 minutes ahead of them on the road. Longbottom at the front of the quartet as they get the gear wound up and settle down to the job in hand. Nowhere to hide in team time trialling. It really is a race of truth, man or team against the clock. And the finishing time is taken on the third rider to cross the finishing line, so each squad can lose a man along the way, although it's advisable to try and keep together for the greater majority of the event, otherwise the pressure is put on the three remaining riders and that can become too much. So England now settling down, coming up to 15 minutes of racing, and Wales looking very, very good indeed.
2, 1, start.
The team of Australia are the 10th squad to go. They're chasing Zimbabwe, and Australia fielding Brett Dennis, Henk Vogels, Phil Anderson and Damien McDonald. And it'll be the experience of the top professional, Phil Anderson, at the front, that'll be skippering this squad and putting all his knowledge and advice into helping the team to try and win their first ever gold medal for this discipline. Anderson sporting the bandage on his left knee, and he's also got a hairline crack in his elbow from a crash he recently incurred in the Kellogg's Professional Tour of Britain cycle race. So Anderson on the left, just ready to swing into the back of the Australian quartet as they settle down to their 100-kilometre time trial. Here's the team of Canada on their first 25-kilometre lap. They've got tremendous support here. And Canada, who came through in the closing stages 4 years ago in Auckland to pick the silver medal up, they finally got the better of England in a race-long tussle, and they'll be able to try and do well. There's a problem here for Wales. Now this is Alan Owen. Owen stopped for some reason, something wrong with the back wheel. So Owen now getting the push off from the manager. Here's a chance to see what happened again. Oh, well, his bike went from under him, didn't he? And he took a right tumble. Well, let's hope that's not too costly for Owen. He's back on, and Owen only just getting over a broken collarbone injury, but Owen back in the race. Here's confirmation at the quarter distance. Australia leading, and almost a minute's advantage over New Zealand. Very tight between New Zealand and England. Peter Longbottom at the front, oldest man on the team, 35 years of age. Also ridden in the Barcelona Olympics, just tucking in the back as the rest of the squad go through. There's Simon Lewiston, a British track champion. And they know they've got a race on their hands here with the Kiwis. It's very tight. But at the moment, it's the Australians that are totally dominating this event. And they've settled down well to their rhythm. Anderson at the back, though, looks a little bit uncomfortable to me. He's only been keeping fit on the turbo trainer since he had that crash, and he almost collided with the back wheel of his teammate in front of him, and that was Damien McDonald. New Zealanders working well together, and at the 25-kilometre point they were fractionally ahead of England, 1.45 seconds. Now they're approaching the halfway point. Have England done enough? Here it is confirmed. Well, England have gone ahead of them now, so that really is a fine tussle between those two for the silver and the bronze, but Australia have gone further away, and at the moment it's a one-horse race. Here are England, now with the advantage over the Kiwis, but there's 50 kilometres more racing to go, and now it's all about stamina and determination. The secret is not to give too much too early. Looking good at this stage, England. And now Wales, well, they've got over that crash that they had. They get the bell. 1 lap to go for Wales, 25 kilometres. 1 hour, 28 minutes and 41 seconds for the three-quarter distance for the Welsh quartet. The Australians seem to be just taking this in their stride. Haven't faltered at all. Such a well-drilled quartet. 6th in the World Championships last year when they clocked 2:04.08. And this is the country to beat here in the Games. Such a strong country in world cycling. Confirmation of the three-quarter distance. Australia still ahead. In fact, they've gone further away. 2 minutes and 41 seconds the advantage. And England, well, they've nipped a few more seconds off New Zealand as well. They're just over 4 seconds ahead of the Kiwis in the silver medal position. So the final 25 kilometres to decide the medals here. Australia looking set, barring accidents, to pick up gold. Can England do enough to hold off the Kiwis? England third in this competition 4 years ago, but they've got a good record. They've been the gold medal winners twice, back in 82 and in 86. New Zealand have won the event just once in 1990. And here are the Kiwis approaching the closing stages now, all 4 still together. And it's generally at this time that riders tend to fall away. But at the moment, it doesn't look as though anybody is fatigued here in the New Zealand squad. This is Australia. Oh, and Australia are down to 3 men. So one of the riders has been dropped here from the Australian quartet. Now, have they given too much too early? I'm looking for that telltale sign of the bandage on the leg, and I can't see it, so I think it's Phil Anderson that's dropped off here. Anderson has definitely dropped off the team. And he's about 15 kilometres left to go. So there he is. So it is Anderson that's dropped off with about 15 kilometres to go. Now Wales drive on for the line to complete their 100 kilometres. Here they come. The clock on the right will stop when they hit the line. It's taken on the third rider. It's a good time, 1 hour, 58 minutes, 55 seconds. They are the pace setters. Wales in. Now here's New Zealand. New Zealand, who started 4 minutes behind Wales. Well, problems at the back there. One of the riders giving up. Looks as though he's possibly got cramp, and it's left to the 3 remaining competitors to ride out the final stages. And behind England, they started 2 minutes behind the Kiwis, are nearing the closing stages as well. This is Simon Lewiston, a British track champion. But here are the 3 Kiwis coming in. Clock will stop on the right when they hit the line. It does. 1:56.52. They go to the top. So it's New Zealand at the moment in the gold medal position. Now we must see whether England have done enough to hold off the Kiwis for the silver medal. It was 4.16 seconds last time. Here they are, and they're still working well together. They haven't dropped a man. They're all together. And they kick on for the line. Big effort as they come in. Clock on the right stops 1:56.40. In fact, they're 12 seconds better than the Kiwis, so they go into the gold medal position now. And we must wait for the arrival of the Australians. 50.04 kilometres an hour for England. That is very, very quick. And here are the 3 survivors from the Australian team: Brett Dennis, Henk Vogels and Damien MacDonald. On the left is the team of Nigeria. They've still got 25 kilometres to do. but the Australians are already celebrating, punching the air with delight. They come up to the line, look at the time, 1 hour 53.19, and that has carved an incredible amount off the record. In fact, it's taken some 13 minutes off the record set by the Kiwis 4 years ago, and a staggering 32.3 miles an hour. What a ride. And so the gold medal goes to Australia, the champions of the 100-kilometre team time trial. And for the England team, Matt Illingworth, Paul Jennings, Simon Lewiston and Peter Longbottom. It's the silver medal for them. And New Zealand will take the bronze, and what a marvellous start for England, and that could be a real morale booster for the rest of the games.
And that crash involving Alan Owen meant that Wales just missed out on a medal. In fact, Owen rode the last 75 kilometres of that race with a broken collarbone. He'd only just returned from fracturing the collarbone 10 weeks ago. Really was bad luck for